Hey guys, welcome to my first podcast. I'm just gonna be, I don't know what I'm gonna talk about today. I have like a list of podcast ideas that I kind of want to cover over like my episodes, I guess. And honestly, I think it's just me like ranting about my thoughts because I have no one else to rant to except myself. And usually I just talk to myself in the mirror, but I feel like that's now getting a little depressing, so I need to like maybe have an audience. Right now my room is like kind of stinky. I don't know why. I came back from like a 4-day trip. But yeah. Okay, so I think the first thing I'm gonna talk about is friendship. I don't know, I feel like that's just gonna be the course of today because I've like had a bad friendship go this past couple months, years maybe even, and I don't know, I just need to like rant about it for the 1600th time. So I feel like friendship is in high school, like it really doesn't exist anymore, especially, and people, I know everyone's like blaming stuff on social media and everyone's like, oh, you guys are just wanting someone to blame it on, but in reality it's true. Like a lot of social media is the reason we like can't do so much of this stuff. Like for example, I was actually having a conversation, you know what, this might not even root directly back to friendship, this probably just roots to our generation in general, but I was talking to these people on this trip about like social media and how life would be so much better without phones, just because you are haunted by stuff on other people's phones. You can be like haunted by like what other people have on their freaking phones about you, which is gross. Like why should that be a case? Why do you deserve to have this stuff about me, first of all, without my permission? And I'm not even talking about nudes. If that's where you guys think I'm going, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about like in general, just like bad photos of me, like people that are now grown and they're like that grew up like our parents. They grew up in this older generation and they didn't really have to be faced with the haunting, daunting idea of you waking up the next morning with a video of you getting drunk blackout on your school's Almost Friday account. Like that's just never the reality. The only proof that you had to do something was other people's words, and that probably ruined a lot of stuff, but it also just, it like provides a source of comfort because there's no like sophisticated evidence of you doing anything or not doing anything, you know? Hey guys, it's me editing. I don't really know how to put title or texts over like videos yet, so I've got to figure that out, but I don't know why I said the word sophisticated. That's just 10,000% not the right word. I think I meant like, no like guaranteed evidence, if that makes sense. Ugh. But yeah, sorry about that. And I know technology has had such a detrimental change in our society. It's helped us benefit so much. But I feel like we've sacrificed so much, as we've unwillingly sacrificed, because we didn't decide to sacrifice all this as a generation. This was the generation before us, like our parents' generation, which unfortunately our parents' generation is kind of the generation that like ruined us, but I don't know. Okay, so the whole idea of friendship is in high school is so like horrible, because if people now, especially since like TikTok is normalizing like POV, I'm just a girl, or like stuff of that sort, where it's like POV, I just need to talk shit about everyone to my best friend because we're just best friends and that's what we do. It's like, no, that makes you a bad person. That makes you a bad person. They're just like idolizing and like normalizing all these bad things, and they're putting cute sounds over it, which makes it people think it's okay. And it's just not. People are so obsessed with the idea of like social hierarchy nowadays. Like, it's honestly horrible, because like I've done some not messed up stuff, but just embarrassing stuff, and I know people that if they were to do what I did and like had to face the consequences that I had to face, they would just like literally like never show their face again, because they're just scared of like what some of the girls at our school think. And I think it's so horrible, because it's like, if you really like just think about it for like 4 seconds, not 4 seconds, like 10 seconds, just think about the most popular girl in your school, and like what she would like, you care so much about what she would think because she's like popular and everyone likes her. But what does popular even mean? She knows the most people, she drinks the most, she kisses the most boys. Like why does that matter? Why does that matter? Like, genuinely, why does that matter to you? Because I know deep down the people that care what these girls think, that's not where their heart lies. Their heart doesn't lie on making out with like the hottest guy in school. Like, no, because it's just like, I know your heart lies something more passionately, but you're never gonna do it because you're scared of what these girls think, and you're scared they're gonna lead back to guys. And I think junior, like end of sophomore year and junior year, just really like showed me like, wow, I like really don't give a fuck. Because first of all, I feel like the only reason people could possibly judge someone else, unless it's like genuinely you're a bad person, there's no reason to judge someone for doing something they like to do. And if you spend your entire youth just like hyper fixating on like there's a couple people I know who like won't even raise their hand in class because they're embarrassed they're gonna get a question wrong, or they don't even like, they stutter when the teacher asks them a question because they're so embarrassed of what these girls might think. And I'm like, oh yeah, you only have so much life to live. And I heard this quote and it was so interesting to me, because it was like there are it was some crazy number, like 300 trillion possibilities of humans being born, and only 115 billion have been born. Like, you have been gifted the chance to be born. You only get one life. Whether you believe in afterlife or not, you only get one life. And you only get one life in this body and with this mindset and this situation. So just live it. And obviously, don't do anything you're not comfortable with. I'm not saying go out of your comfort zone, do every drug on planet Earth. Like, no. I'm saying if you want to go and stand up and draw a rainbow on the board because you're bored, then fucking do it. Who cares? And obviously, when someone says who cares, it's like, oh, like, da 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 da. If someone judges you for doing the stupidest shit, like what, playing an instrument, or like, I don't know, getting a bad grade on a test, or hanging out with this weird boy that you like, or like, it just shows more of their character than yours. But also, you have to keep in mind when you're going by this like YOLO idea, you have to keep your morals and respect yourself. You can't just like go out and like do whatever you want, because even though you only get one life, your actions still do have consequences. But you have to carry morals. But you shouldn't consider like these girls judging you and making fun of you as a consequence, because it's really not. And if you think like you only want to, if you're really in the mindset where it's like, oh, like, I don't want to do anything to embarrass myself because I want them to, like, eventually be friends with me. If you're already thinking that mindset, it's going to be a bad friendship because they're going to use you and you're going to look up to them. It's going to be uneven. And the best friendships come when you least expect it, when they're there for you. And there are going to be so many flaws, but you just got to, like, really respect yourself. You only live one life. Respect yourself. Give yourself a chance to do what you want. Don't, like, hyperfixate on the smallest things, but, like, keep your morals and do what you want. And I think that's what some friendships have come to, like the consequence of, like, how do I explain it? Like, people are like, oh, right, like, they didn't do anything to me, so I'm not going to do anything to them. Stop being friends with that person, because they don't care enough about you and your feelings to, like, if you're best friends with someone, I'm not talking about, like, you're mutual friends with someone, I'm saying if you're best friends with someone and they go and, like, post, like, with the girl that, like, did you so dirty, drop that friend. They go and talk to the guy you like, drop that friend. Like, it's just not worth it, because if they consider talking to a guy you like, or, like, they consider, like, and you stop saying the word like. But if they don't like a guy and they're just talking to them because, like, they're being a nice person, they don't have enough, like, intelligence to realize your feelings, or they just don't have enough care. So either way, there's no point in being friends with them, because they don't care about you and they don't care about your feelings. And if they're like, well, I was never flirting with him, like, I was just talking to him, I was being a nice person. No. You were showing that you could talk to him, that you had the opportunity to talk to him. And no matter how many people are like, oh no, that wasn't the case, I was just doing it to make my ex-boyfriend jealous. No, you weren't doing it to make your ex-boyfriend jealous. You were doing it to prove that you could make your ex-boyfriend jealous. You could talk to him. That's when, like, all this gets super messed up, because it's like, I know what I've, like, been going through, like, with certain people. And I know what they've been doing is wrong. I know I've done some things wrong, and I know I didn't know how to handle some situations, but it wasn't intentionally. But they do things that are intentionally wrong, and you don't want to stay friends with them. Because if you stay friends with them, they're going to manipulate you to become like them. They're going to manipulate you that it's okay. Like, the tree doesn't fall down, the tree falls the way it leans. And if you're hanging out with people that are going to do that to you, you're going to end up doing that to others. And if you're okay with doing that, then that's just your character. But if you're not okay with someone else doing that to you, stop being friends with them and don't do it to anyone else.